Hello, I'm meteorologist Rob Carlmark, and I work for ABC 10 here in Northern California. So as you're watching this on YouTube, a lot of my focus is going to be in this general area here: Vacaville, Fairfield, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Tracy, onward to Folsom, El Dorado Hills, Roseville, Rockland, and other spots all the way up through Truckee. So you can see clearly over the weekend, most of our area was getting hit with yet another storm. Every single weekend since Christmas, there's been some kind of weather on either day, Saturday or Sunday or both. And some days it was clear, but it was really, really windy. So it was yet another weekend where we just had something coming through. Just a quick tip and look ahead. We're going to have a nice clear weekend, so the weather's going to get better, but we had this midweek storm that we've got to get through, and I'll have more details on that. If you're wondering about all the water that's been coming in and what's going on with all the reservoirs, one of the things that we very often show here locally is some of the big reservoirs that we have, like Shasta or Oroville or Folsom, releasing water. And then the immediate comment, probably here in the comments on this YouTube channel, is that why would we let out all of that water when we're in the middle of a drought, or we need to hang on to the water because you know the next drought is around the corner. And that's an understandable mindset if you're only looking at it one way. The other way of looking at these dams is that they are there at this point of the year to prevent flooding. That's really one of the main components, because a flood is arguably much worse than a drought as far as impacts, financial and otherwise. So what they're trying to do is release water out of these dams intentionally. These are controlled releases to make room for incoming water, whether it's big wet storms like we're going to have in the next few days and next week, or it's snow melt. And they play with the numbers all the time to try and have a full lake just as the season is wrapping up for rain, because in California, as we all know, we basically get rain and snow from October to about May, and then by June, it drops off a cliff to basically nothing, and we really don't expect anything until maybe September, more likely October of the following year. So this is where we're at. Shasta is the biggest reservoir in the state. It's at 75% capacity. That means it's 3/4 full. It's about average for this time of year. And remember, it's got snow melt coming in. It's got more water coming in. There's more water going in than out right now. So the lake's going to keep going up, even though we're seeing a day off from the rain. Oroville's in the same spot. Folsom is kept down a lot lower because it's a large but shallow lake, so it can fill up really quickly. And you can see some of the other big ones locally are in really good shape. This is where you want to be. And then here's another famous one. This is the San Luis Reservoir. As you're driving up and down I-5, as you go through Los Banos, maybe you got split pea soup there at one point, there's a big reservoir just at the top, and there's big pumps. And what they do is they pull water out of the delta where the San Joaquin and the Sacramento come in. They pump it into an aqueduct, and then they pump it off stream into this reservoir. So some of this is runoff, but a lot of this is just pumped out of the delta, essentially making that reservoir very useful in the long, hot summer for agriculture. And the Oroville Dam, they just redid the spillway. This was a $1 billion repair and rebuild, and it's functioning amazingly well. The water comes down here. It flows up to 35,000 cubic feet per second, which is the flow of a very large river. It's amazing when it's going, and they're doing that because we've got more storms into the future. And folks, we've made up so much room on the drought. It's really incredible. The hardest hit spot going into this rainy season was the San Joaquin Valley, and that's one of the bread baskets of the world. We grow rice there, we grow cotton, you name it, grapes, a lot of very profitable nuts like pistachios and almonds and walnuts, and citrus as well. And it was at a 5 out of 5 top level drought. Well, guess what? There's no drought in that area, and all things considered, there's just a few spots here and there are at low level drought. And then you take a look at the next 7 to 10 days, and we're going to get more rain in the San Joaquin Valley, but also for far northern California, which is really going to help out the biggest reservoir that needs help right now, which is Trinity. When you look at the snowpack, it's still amazing how much snow is locked up and ready to go, and that's going to be a long melting season well into the early months of summer. With that said, we had a little bit of rain and snow left over early in the morning. We're just kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop storm-wise, and it's going to happen early on Tuesday morning for Northern California. Looking at our Big Mountain backyard forecast, we've got temperatures in the 60s, and then we've got just a little bit of wind thrown in there, but not that much. Let's focus in on the next system, because this will affect many regions of California all at the same time. It's going to come in early in the morning. Horrible commute for the Bay Area folks, as well as Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto. when it rains in the morning during a commute time, we have crashes, and it takes a long time for people to get to where they need to, as well as school drop-offs. Then we're going to see more scattered showers after that, but this system migrates down to the south, which means some of the biggest impacts we're going to see out of this is getting snow, a lot of snow in a place that really just doesn't need it right now, and that's going to be the central and southern Sierra. They've got crews on roofs digging off the snow, just trying to get rid of it because there's too much weight. We're having a lot of structural problems with roofs, parking lots, you name it, and they're just trying to make room for the next storm because it's a lot of weight and they're going to get many feet of snow in the coming days. Now remember, this is just one storm of a couple. This one comes in on Tuesday. It lingers with scattered stuff on Wednesday, Thursday. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we might see some flurries up high, but it's not a big deal. And then look at this. We've got another series of storms starting the beginning of next week. So these dry days in Northern California are really useful. The water needs to come down. San Joaquin River's running really high right now, but we're going to get more rain. A long weekend break, then more after that.